Hi, my name is Brenda Rivera, and today I would like to talk about the enormous amount of filicide killings that have been in the news lately. In case you're not aware of what filicide killings are, this is when a child is killed by their parents, specifically the mother. In the past, whenever there was a story of a child being killed by their mother, it was almost always blamed on postpartum depression. But lately, these killings aren't even being categorized this way. Seems like these killings have become more personal. Reasons ranging anywhere between maybe the mother's getting revenge against the children's father, mothers being addicted to drugs, or maybe the mother's just feeling so overwhelmed with their situation that they feel that getting rid of their kids is the only way out. I myself was a mother of 5, single, and I totally understand the frustrations that these girls and women are feeling. There were a lot of times where I just felt like just running away and just never looking back. I know that this sounds awful and maybe incomprehensible, but it's true. A single mother of 5 with kids ranging in ages of only 1 year between them all can be exhausting and overwhelming. I know that some people may say, well, you should have thought about that before having sex and before having the kids. And the feeling is understandable, but we must also understand and realize that we're talking about young girls who may or may not have had parents who were even willing to talk about the subject of sex. Some families feel it's taboo to even touch the subject. Some families feel that if they do speak about the subject with their kids, that their kids may feel that it's acceptable behavior. I myself found out about sex by my children's father, and of course it was taught by the actual act of having sex. My family wasn't willing to discuss the subject. As a matter of fact, my father had me removed from sex education classes because he was so strict and he didn't want me to know anything about it until he was ready to discuss it. This left me feeling curious, and it seemed like everyone in my circle was having sex except for me. Between the curiosity and the peer pressure, well, I did it. I was only 14 years old and I got pregnant. When my parents found out, they made me have an abortion, but they still weren't even willing to talk about the subject. 2 years later, I got pregnant again and I had a miscarriage. Basically, by the time I was 23, I had already had all 5 of my children. I went through a lot. I struggled most of the time. To a single mother, raising 5 kids on her own is a daunting task to even think of. But I was fortunate enough to have a support circle of family and friends. A lot of these girls don't have this support. I feel that the subject needs to be addressed, that there needs to be more emphasis regarding this subject. This has been going on for decades, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. In my opinion, it seems to be getting worse, with parents leaving their kids in cars in sweltering heat to abandoning kids in the woods to die. Some mothers go so far as to selling their kids to people for different reasons. Maybe they owe money for drugs, or maybe they just don't want to be bothered with their kids any longer. I feel that we, as a country, need to create a program for these women. There needs to be somewhere where these women can feel safe to discuss their feelings and frustrations without being judged. They can meet other girls and mothers who are going through similar situations, somewhere where they feel that somebody cares about them. I'm not saying that this is an answer, but I think that this could be a start. Maybe this may be one of my goals, is to create a program for these mothers and children. A place where they can come vent, get assistance and guidance. Somewhere where they can take parenting classes, maybe even have classes for girls who haven't even completed high school. Somewhere that's open 24 hours a day, where there are licensed counselors, educators, and child care providers to assist these girls. I truly believe that if we place enough emphasis on this topic, that we can start to tackle the issue and get to the root problem for each one of these families. We can support these girls with whatever they need. We just need to find people who care enough and who are willing to put in the time and effort to create the environment of love and trust for these women.